Hello, welcome to a new video of Dynasty War. So the last video we talked about the basic defensive structures, and this video we'll talk about the traps. So there are 6 different traps in this game. The first one is the mine, is the very basic trap. You can have 6 of them at headquarter 10, and that's the maximum you can have. So it is very basic, it's very weak, it has 1 tile range, it does very little damage, 12 DPS, and I think all traps, they shouldn't use DPS because DPS is damage over a period of time. And all the traps are instantaneous, they do the damage once, and that's it. So I'm assuming the DPS is just really just the damage, just flat damage that these traps do. So I don't know what's the maximum damage that these mine can get up to, but by looking at the bar, it's probably less than 100 or maybe 100 damage. So if you think about 100 damage per mine is not even that much damage, and that's saying it's at the maximum level. So even the first level, you can't kill a single archer or warrior with 1 single bomb. And you might have 6 of them, but you have a pretty big base, so it's unlikely that you can use these effectively to kill a lot of troops. Really, the biggest effect that is it has this knockback effect from it. And knocking back enemy troops or heroes can stop their animation, their attack animation, and require them to walk back in and do the attack again. So this is the only thing I can think of. Doing damage is not really significant. So I don't recommend leveling these things at all. I didn't do it until headquarter 10. I did it just to change the design so they match my base. The second trap is the thorn trap. The thorn trap is very useful. It's one of the highest damage trap you can have. At level 1, it's 600 damage. It could easily kill a lot of the first couple star heroes. And after you upgrade it to max, I think it can do over 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage to even to a 7-star hero, it's a lot, it's significant. Especially if it's a bow hero or fan hero, it could take out a significant portion of their health. At least it is noticeable from the health bar. You can see that the health bar drop. And obviously this is not easily triggered. You have to be stepping on top of it for it to activate and do the damage to the hero or to the other units. But it does do damage to multiple units standing on top of it. And other units, other troops will be likely to be killed in one trap already. So this is very important. If you have to upgrade some traps, this should be the first one you upgrade. The next one is the fire mine. Fire mine is a bigger mine. It takes 2 by 2 space, you can see, and it has a 2 tile range. So the range, the area of effect is pretty big, and it does 175 damage at level 1, and that is enough to kill a lot of early games troops. It can kill warriors, archers, alchemists, and any other troops. And it's actually 175 damage is high enough to kill a level 6 alchemist. Obviously, that alchemist is just the basic level 6 without the treasure to buff his HP. So level 1 is very significant already, but if you're trying to do more damage to maybe heroes or heavy cavalry, obviously you want to level them up to get more damage, and therefore you can, because it does apply to all the units in the area. I don't think there is a limit to how many troops inside the area that will take the damage. So more damage will only apply to units who have the HP to withstand 1 fire mine. So this is another good trap to level up. And then we have the silt. The silt is the only trap that you can level up. It's at level 1. That's it. It doesn't really have a good description. It says set swamp traps around your city to effectively stop and trap the enemy. It doesn't stop or trap enemies. It only slows down the enemy. By how much, I don't know. It doesn't tell you how much is being slowed. It will slow both the movement speed and attack speed. So it's very effective when they have high attack speed hero that will do a lot of damage, and this can slow them down. And if they are slow moving and slow attack, then this will even slow them down even more, which makes them very useless. And it doesn't tell you how long the effect is, so you don't really get a lot of this. You don't get a lot of information from this description page, but it's very useful in terms of slowing down the attackers. Then, when you go to the next one is the Bewitching Smoke. The Bewitching Smoke, here it tells you what it does. It will control the enemy troops. Leveling this will increase the amount of troops you can control. So right now the population damage is 20, so we can control up to 20 housing space of troops. So that could be 2 healers, 10 archers, or 5 alchemists, or whatever. And once this is triggered, it will stay up for a couple of seconds, and any troops that walk past it will be bewitched. Or if it can be triggered, but if no other troops walk through it, then it will just stay for a couple of seconds and then it will disappear. So if you're attacking a base and you know you're suspecting there will be bewitching smoke, you could use troops to try it out first and activate it before you use all your troops. Because this thing is very powerful. As I said, you can control 5 alchemists at level 1, 5 alchemists, and at any level alchemist. But upgrading this allows you to control even more troops. And if you're able to control 5 alchemists from your attacker, those 5 alchemists could basically destroy their whole entire army, because their army will just be, marching by and will be ignoring these controlled troops. So well-placed traps, well-placed bewitching smoke could pretty much affect the whole battle. And sometimes even getting 10 archers could be useful too, because in the middle of the battle, the enemy hero has to go back and attack 10 smaller troops, which will greatly slow them down. So bewitching smoke, however, I don't think you really need to upgrade it. Upgrading it, each level you upgrade it, you get 5 more additional population space. Rarely do I see I don't have enough population damage to control more troops. Usually no one really step on it, or they just step a couple of troops in there and then their whole army stops because they start fighting in there already. Then the next one is the Cunning Doe. The Cunning Doe is a trap that does not do any damage to the enemy troops or heroes. What it does is it pops up and caught the attention of all the enemies in that area, and it has a lot of HP. It starts with 1000 HP. Each time you level it up, you get more HP, and it's basically a tank that will pop up and soak up damage inside your base. It will attract and lure the enemy to this Cunning Doe. So any troops that walk by the Cunning Doe and inside the area will automatically retrack and reroute to attack this thing until this is destroyed. So it's useful when you place it with other traps, next to other traps, and you could lure enemy troops into the traps that may do more damage, or lead them to a bewitching smoke and control them, or you can use them somewhere in your base to redirect the flow of the attackers. So all these traps are very useful, except the mine. All the other one could be very useful if you know how to place them correctly. And I'm very bad at placing traps, so I didn't really upgrade most of them at all until very late. And the reason for that is I just want to make them look better, to fit in better with my base. So this is it for traps. In the next video, I'll talk about higher level defensive structures. See you next one. Bye bye.